Hi there, it's day 170, and today's topic is everything is possible. Don't block yourself. Now, of course, I'm inspired again from yesterday's topic, and now as I'm thinking about approach and in a sense of going forward in a feeling and also in action, I'm finding out that beyond yesterday's topic of thinking beyond your normal frame, we are blocking ourselves in so many ways. And the thing is, how can we get out of this thinking? And we it's like we're trying to change things and ending up in the same, bad outcome over and over again. And this reminds me of a story that I've read in from George Bucay. He's I think an Argentinian psychologist, and also from Wendaya. There's a story where a man goes in a street and suddenly he steps in a hole and falls down. And the next day this happens again and he sees it and again he falls inside. And this the story continues day by day. And every time he thinks, now I'm going to jump above it, and he falls every time inside. And after a week, he thinks that I could change the side, another side of the street. So he crosses the side, and he doesn't fall in it again. And this is something that we also need to do, and we haven't learned it. There's no school who teaches us how to think in a different way. There's no, persons who teach you how to do it, and what does it mean to think in a different way. How many ways are there to think? And thinking is about, how you leave judgment aside, and how are you analyzing thinking, what kind of feelings do you have in order to think in a different way. And this is very difficult. What can help you, I think, is always ask you, if you think that you should do things in a certain way, why shouldn't you do the opposite? Or for example, if I would believe the opposite, how should I act then? Or for example, if somebody does something, you could start thinking, how must I think to act in this way? Now, it's not to become the opposite person. It's that you're gaining much of information about how you could think, and so you adapt many ways of thinking, and so you can find out more how people see things. And then you will discover many things, like, for example, that if people are angry about something and they're not nice, seldom it has to do with you. It's more about them, their insecurity, and everything that goes wrong in their life. And then if you try to think, what must I do in order to behave the same way, then you will discover many information that will help you also, how maybe you can change your way of thinking in order to not doing the same mistakes over and over again. Then suddenly you will maybe discover that to feel as a winner and do and achieve the opposite of what you're achieving now, that you have to approach it in a totally different way. And then suddenly you have to see yourself as already have fulfilled what you want to achieve. And this is not something you have to become, because if you think you have to become, this implies that you are not yet the person who you want to become, which implies that they're missing something. There's nothing that you're missing. It's just that you haven't lived out yet what is inside of you. It's like that you have a book with many experiences that you can live, and today you have to choose what experience do you want to live. Everything that you is required and that you need for it is already inside of you. And by this approach, you are gaining more self-esteem, and your total presentation of how you present yourself to others and the kind of impression and influence that you will have will be totally different. So it's about gaining more of thinking big and thinking in a totally different way, and gain more of what is inside of you by thinking in the opposite direction. And if you analyze everything, it's not that we have now 170 topics, that there's 107 habits you have to win. It's maybe that you end up with a dozen of habits, and all of these habits, and by gaining and doing everything to make them a part of your life, you will do so many other things, because they amplify that you're changing your habits, your how you feel, and with your feeling also your actions, that everything will become at their place by their own, just simply by doing what is required, these simply habits. And simply I say because it's just that you don't do them now, and by doing what is required, it's just a change in making the first step, and then it's kind of easiness, with the result that you will feel very happy, a kind of happiness, that you will start to think, how is this possible? I'm happy every day, and it's like, how can you gain even more happiness? It's not a question if you will feel happiness, but just to put even more and more inside of it. And you will start living your days by thinking, well, what do I need more? And it's part of passing your time with the things that really count in life, your family, friends, to dive in, to live more moments, and then you will see that life is so easy, and things will shift by themselves, because you will start to have a different mindset, like we said yesterday with Joe Dispenza, and then suddenly everything was shifting, and you think, how is this possible? How did I live till now? You're having totally different thoughts. This is why it's so important to make personal development for yourself, to gain just different thoughts that will bring you to a new level, making yourself being very proud of yourself, and just live the happy moments day by day. So stay tuned, and till tomorrow. Bye bye.